Hey there, this is Dennis Anyone with Dennis Hensley. It's a podcast about making things up and making things happen, creative people and their journeys, why they choose to do the things that they do, why they hang in there, how they hang in there. That's the stuff I love to talk about. I think art and creativity make the tough times bearable. Where would we be without it? But it's also tough to do that stuff. So I love talking to people and lifting them up. And today my guest is Francisco Chacin. He is an actor. He is recurring on the series Matlock with Kathy Bates. He plays Beau Bridge's fussy assistant, Stuart, a clipboard gay, which we say affectionately, but he brings his own twist to it. And it's really fun to hear him talk about getting the show and what it's like and all of that. He's also an interior designer. He does different types of dwellings, I guess, around Los Angeles. He was the designer of the Noise Within Theater lobby, which I frequent, and it's very beautiful. So it was fun to talk about that as well. And he grew up in Venezuela. With his family, they moved to Toronto when the political situation in Venezuela got too intense, and then he ended up in Los Angeles. So he's had an interesting journey, and it's really fun to hear about it. So before we get to that, though, I got some stuff to plug. The Mismatch Game Happy Blanksgiving episode. It's our first ever Thanksgiving edition. It's going to happen on Saturday, November 22nd at 7:30, and half hour earlier than usual. And listen to this lineup. We've got Jackie Beat as B. Arthur. We got Danny Casillas as Reba Arriba. We got Nadia Ginsburg as Cher. We've got Danielle Gaither giving us Gayle King, fresh from outer space. Well, maybe not fresh, but she was in outer space at one point. Frank DeCaro is doing the show for the first time at the Renberg. He did it at Gay Days Disneyland. He plays this character called Henchy, who is a Batman henchman. And he's also maybe in love with Batman and also doesn't love his job, but it's funny. And making his Mismatch Game debut for the first time ever, Bruce Valanche is going to do the show as Sophie Tucker. So there you go. It's going to be star-studded and laugh-filled. And you can learn about that at LALGBTcenter.org. There's also a link in my Instagram and my link tree, and we'll figure it out. Somehow you'll get there. I also want to plug Search Party. It's the new party game I'm coming out with. My friend Jeb Havens and I, we created You Don't Know My Life together. This is our follow-up game. You use your phone to find fun pictures to go with prompts. Like, there'll be like a prompt like the elephant in the room or sticky situation. And then the players have 1 minute to use 3 search words to find a fun image that illustrates that theme, and then they present them, and the winner is the one that gets the point. So it's really fun. You get to use your phone for good instead of evil, and the cards are really cute. I canvaed the shit out of them, you guys. So we need some more pre-orders. We want to get to 150 by the 15th of November. We're over 100 right now, but we need to get there. We're keeping our eye on the tariff situation because that affects us, and so come on, Neil Gorsuch, pull through. Like, I never thought I'd be saying that, but there you go. So, but you know, it'll be fun to play. So if you like party games, it's $25. That includes shipping. Go to youdon'tknowmylife.com/search-party. There's a break if you order more than one. They make excellent gifts. We decided to do it in this crazy year, and it's been a different experience than the first time, but we're getting there. And one day we'll all hold it in our hands and it'll be really meaningful. I've said that sentence a lot about holding things in hands. But there you go. All right. Also want to mention that if you just like this podcast and want to support it, there are some things you can do. You can go to DennisAnyone.net, leave a tip in my virtual tip jar. I also have a Patreon and a Substack that I'm very committed to. I do it every week. It's called Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay. It's a shorter podcast, about a half hour, and I end every episode with a segment about happiness, about the science of it, what I've learned, tips and tools that I've learned, things like that. I think, you know, we're wired to think if we get what we want in this life, we'll be happy. But what if you don't? Are you just not supposed to be happy? Are there things you can do? There are, it turns out. And so that's what I love to talk about, in addition to the usual pop culture stuff and different star sightings and things that happen in LA. So you can learn about that at Patreon or Substack. They're both the same content, and just search for Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay. It's $5 a month, and even if you don't subscribe, if you follow on there, I do occasionally post free episodes, free content. So finding my way with it, building something, and I want to thank everyone that has already signed up and supported. Finally, if you like this show and want more gay stuff like it, why don't you become a subscriber to DNR Studios? I'm part of a group of shows under the Derek and Romaine banner, and for a monthly fee, you get my show early, and you get all these other killer, fun gay shows. Very irreverent stuff, really thoughtful, funny, cool group. So go to dnrstudios.com to learn about that. All right, I think that might be all of the plugs. So let's get on with the interview. This is Francisco Chacin. Joining me now from just down the street in Los Angeles, it's Francisco Chacin, actor and interior decorator, and all-round cool dude. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
I know, it's fun to see you as well. Before we started, you were commenting on my collage behind me.
Yes.
It's a relatively new addition to my podcasting, and I've not described it, because sometimes I make videos, but often it's just audio. But I was super into Interview Magazine in the 80s, and in 1987, I moved into a new apartment in LA, and it had closet doors that slid, and I went to Kinko's and Xeroxed all these Interview Magazine pictures of celebrities and cut them out and then collaged it. So it's very like young Robert Downey Jr. There's Molly Ringwald. There's the guy from Dynasty. There's
Yes. No, it's fabulous.
a lot.
Black and white, hair, different scales. Of, like, it's just, it's one of those, it's like what you would imagine a dream of the 80s is.
A dream of the 80s. And
yeah. It's fabulous.
And it's full length. But anyway, I mentioned that because I haven't talked about it yet. And also you do decorating. And so you have insights about this. So that's been my, like, when I landed in LA. Yeah.
Someone was like, hey, forever acting has been like, it has to be something you have to have other shit to fall back on, right? Because it's like, you never know if it's going to work out or not. Yeah. And when I moved to LA, I knew nobody but Darren Stein. That was the only person in Los Angeles that I like fully knew. Darren Stein,
filmmaker of Jawbreaker and Friends.
A Tour.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Like, she invented that slow-mo walk in a horror movie.
I mean, the best.
Fabulous, incredible. She's also over the years I've been able to be friends with him, and a dream. Thanks to him, my life in LA kind of started because I met him in Toronto, and he was like, "Come over, girl."
And here you are. And, I actually met you at his birthday party. That's where I think I first talked to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, but we have other friends in common too. A poet, Stephen Rains, too, poet laureate.
Yes.
And I believe you're friends with Quesadilla too, right?
Yes, Oscar Cantillo. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have a story. He's the sweetest man alive. Anyways, he saved my life one time. But
we have to hear that story before we get to the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Decorating and how you got into it when you first came to LA.
I landed here. A friend of a friend was like, meet my friend he took me to Malibu to a picnic, and there, a very well-established decorator here called Joe Lucas. He has a store on La Cienega in the Design Quarter. I was like, I have no idea. I don't know what to do. Like, he was just like, why don't you come intern for me? And kind of like him, who had moved to Los Angeles to become an actor, and he was in a few episodes of Will and Grace. He started this design business, and it took off. And he has this incredible, now 2 stores, one in New York, one in LA. But yeah, that's how I landed in interior design. And in there, I started selling custom-made wallpapers, fabric, furniture, accessories, and working with the best designers from around the world. We have a yearly design conference that people come to from everywhere around the world to like show new products and do, design display competitions. And it's so much fun because you're just like surrounded by beauty at the highest level of artistry, making people's homes like the coolest thing you can imagine. And there's kind of never no for an answer in that industry, right? Like, because with certain levels of clients, of course, the funding is whatever.
Yeah, they have very deep pockets.
So much money that you were like, yeah, I will make this happen. Let's go. I will figure out a way to make you a triangular sofa, sir. Let's go. Wow. So it's fun. It's like every day is a new adventure where you're just like trying to solve stuff. Oh, let me put my do not disturb on. Sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, that's how I started in interior design, and it became kind of like the job that I was doing there. I started in the back with samples, and then slowly he was like, you can talk to people. You should be in the front, girl. So he pushed me out, gave me a desk, and I started in the front of the store and, learned a lot. And then right before the pandemic, I opened my own interior design business. And I have focused mainly in commercial spaces. Right. So I've done the lobby of a theater in Pasadena, a speakeasy and a coffee shop on Melrose, and a few small residential projects here and there. But I love interior design. It's so fun. You get to just like imagine cool things, but just put things together. I don't know. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Well, you must have always had an eye though, right? And a certain taste level. Like, did you know that you had talent in it? Because not anyone can do it, right? You have to have taste.
I loved it. I loved doing, I remember when I was a kid in Venezuela, and when it was like time to change the living room or whatever, my mom and I would like spend a day figuring stuff out and moving stuff around and stuff. And like, yeah. And both my grandmothers like really cared about that, because it was like of an era, and I don't know. I just grew up really, really enjoying it. I never thought it would be a career or like a means to survive and not even to survive, to thrive as well. Because I was, I come from my dad's an engineer, my mom's a biologist and an educator, and you have to go to college and get a thing, and like you need to have a 9-to-5 job. So like it was never go design. I don't know. Yeah. There was art somehow around us, but like we were not like artistic people.
The idea that you could do something creative for a job was just not your family's thing.
Never, no.
Yeah. You mentioned the theater in in Pasadena. It's the Noise Within, A Noise Within. Which is one of my favorite theaters. I was just there on Friday seeing Joe Turner's Come and Gone. So you did
oh my God, I can't wait. We're going next week.
It's so good. It's so good.
Right. I heard it's fabulous. I can't wait.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And your husband, you're married, right? Kasey?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. He's been on this podcast, Kasey Mahafey, and he's been in 2 wonderful shows this year. He's like killing it at Noise Within. Anyway, so you designed the lobby. That's really cool.
The lobby. Yeah. That was one of my first jobs leaving. Kasey had done a bunch of shows there. He had just become a resident artist as well. I was working at that store, had just opened the New York store, and was starting to get my own clients here and there. And Julia and Jeff, the artistic directors of the theater, were like, hey, we have a little bit of money. Like, what can we do? But remember, it's a historical facade, the building, right? It was designed by a very famous mid-century modern architect, and it has an infinity pool in the front, and like the bricks. It's so gorgeous, the space. So the project was super cool because we didn't have a lot of money. We had to like work with a lot of everything is straight lines. Like every theater, they had gotten there by scrapping every penny possible. Right. So everything was hideous and mismatched, and like just kind of collected from different times, but not in the right way. And Julia and Jeff, and Julia specifically, was just like, listen, pitch me some things and let's figure it out. And we had 3 meetings where, we came up with what the concept of this thing was going to be and how to create visually impactful, like, places to put color so that the space doesn't feel so cavernous anymore. And like, 13-inch lines that just go for, straight walls that go, 14 feet long. Like, so it's like a cool, plays with proportion and color and where to place it. And we made like magic with that place, and I can't wait to continue. It's not done. That's what's cool about too, that they're like any theater, a living space. And, we still have to continue, we're going to go into the theater at some point when there's, another, hopefully grant or donor. Sure,
exactly. Some rich donor. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. but it's done. The theater looks, so much, and not because I did it, but it looks so much better now.
It's very fabulous. It's a fabulous vibe to hang out in.
Yes.
I want to talk about your acting in a bit, but when I was coming up as a creative person, people that were more successful would always tell you, if you have a plan B, you have to only care about the art thing. You can't care about anything else or you won't succeed. I think that's bullshit.
Absolutely.
I had a filmmaker on who made this wonderful movie called A Nice Indian Boy. I interviewed him a few months ago.
I love that movie.
It's wonderful. Do you know what?
Fabulous. My friend Peter Kim is in it, and he's the comedic relief.
He's hilarious.
Asian friend, the nurse.
Yeah.
The funniest human being alive. I love Peter. We have another project that we're working together. Anyways, yes, I love. And that movie is incredible.
Yeah. That filmmaker is a cancer doctor 6 months out of the year at a hospital in back east, like a big one. Sloan Kettering, maybe. I could be pulling that out of my ass. I don't know. But yeah. And then makes films for the other half. And I'm like, I think that's the model now, because the business is so inconsistent. And even when you get a gig, they don't pay like they used to. And you can hang in longer if you have that other thing, Absolutely. Otherwise you just get too heartbroken, and I don't know. So anyway, the way you balance the two things.
To be creative, like to be able to create, you have to, I don't know. I think that this is going to be like the worst, crassest comfort. Like in order to shit, you have to eat, right?
Right.
So like you have to fill your vessel with other stuff. And even as an actor, to like have things to play, they have to come from experiences too. Right. So like sitting around just waiting for the phone to ring, while I don't know. Anyways, I think let me frame it a little bit more positive. I don't think that I would be able to be happy and just have a good life if I am just waiting tables and auditioning forever until something hits.
Yeah.
I also want to travel and, be able to afford, those shoes that I want to buy. And I don't know, you want to do more things. And, there is creativity in everything that you do. And one of my jobs was corporate TV in Canada, selling like organizing commercials in between the breaks of sports channels.
Right.
And like, after a few years of doing that, my company was like, we're doing new software. Do you want to go to Berlin to test it? I was like, yeah, let's go. And like went to Germany and like was developing software with it. Like there's creativity in whatever you do. So there's always going to be a problem to solve, a thing to do, a list to complete. Like,
right.
I don't know. You got to do more shit.
Yeah, you got to do more shit. That's the thing. I think we were brought up to believe that we would be rewarded for our fidelity and our devotion. We loved it the most, but that's bullshit. And having other
it's the
things
same with relationships too, like that it had to be this like one undying thing, dedication. Like, if my husband was only thinking about me, I would be so bored by our conversations. You know what I mean? Like, go live, experience, read, see, watch, go do shit.
Yeah.
And same with like, you have to be curious people. Otherwise it's like, what are you going to create from?
Yeah. You play Stuart on Matlock. A recurring character.
Speaking of angry office people.
I know, speaking of angry office people, but he is a very specific kind of persnickety gay assistant person. First of all, your boss in it, you're Beau Bridges' boss, if I'm not right.
Beau Bridges is my yes.
Yeah, yes. You work with him in his office. And you pop up here and there. I think for actors, like a recurring or a regular gig on a series is kind of like, yes. Especially a network series that's a hit. I mean, right? Isn't it kind of like, oh, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? What's it been like? It's certainly a new level in terms of probably exposure and things like that.
Absolutely.
What was it like? Did it feel like any other gig that you'd done? Or is it like, oh, this is network money or this is network craft service or whatever?
Well, for sure. I mean, there are things that obviously like show the scale of this,
right.
The fact that your call sheet has, Kathy Bates as number one on that list and, is like, ooh, what?
Yeah.
but you know what? what was funny about this is that, yes, when I got the call and I saw the audition come through, I was just like, okay, well, we can't think about those things. You have to just like go and do and whatever. And then when I got the gig, fab, super excited and interested. And then is when you think like, oh, I have to go be mean to Kathy Bates, or like on set, they're like, hey, can you do it again? But like be meaner. And I'm like, to her, like you can't, she's a fucking icon. I can't.
Yes.
I have to first queen the fuck out when I meet her. But no, it is another, you know, it feels like it's a job that there's something about this one specifically that, yes, the scale is bigger, and of course, and the crafty, and, you know, there's 3 cameras at the same time, and, you know, you've done indie little things, and it's like one camera, and then you do, anyways, the scale feels bigger, but everybody in this show is like kind and sweet and humble, and there to do a good job, starting from Miss Bates down. Yeah. She was once, they had to go adjust, you know, the hair wig thing that she was wearing. And, we were waiting 10 minutes for her or whatever in between takes. And she came back and she apologized for making us wait. I'm like, bitch, it's your wig. Like, it's not even your fault. And she's like, sorry for making everybody. Like, what? No, you're Kathy Bates. We're grateful that you're here. Yeah. No, it's a dream. And, you know, like what you were saying earlier, it isn't the same being, you know, recurring on a TV show as I guess it was, you know, a few decades ago. Right. That would be enough. You were set for life. If you could get a gig like that. No. You still have to. Ran a long time. I am still doing, you know, 2 or 3 tapes, self-tapes a week, and going on auditions and people being like, thank you. Like, same thing. Yeah, absolutely. It's never, you know, it's the 1,000 paper cuts of acting. What's fun about Stuart? Playing him? What's fun? I mean, I think that, you know, the way I see it is like the show sees like this much of his life. Yeah. Because those are the moments that his life intersects with the rest of the plot that's happening in the show. In order to be able to make it not like he's just like the angry assistant that's in a corner just always upset about something, right? So listen, he's fun and he cares about every little detail, about kind of like I do. He's good at his job. Color of the the color of the napkin and how it goes with the tablecloth for the, you know, non-denominational holiday party that we're having. Like it's he cares about doing a good job, whatever it is. He's very, very loyal to the people that are good to him. And I think he's super, super funny. Yeah. He gets inconvenienced by the funniest things that are like, for other people are like, what? And for him are like just the most unsurmountable thing. He's great. I think he's really funny. And also just those gay guys exist in the world. Yeah. Like that man exists in the world. We've seen him. Yeah. That's when I read it. I was like, oh, I met this man. Yeah. I've seen this clipboard gay somewhere. I got him. I got him. Like you just want to bring your fresh twist to the clipboard gay. It's, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. When I was in college, the movie, Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean came out. And I went to see it like 3 nights in a row. It spoke to me so profoundly, and I look back and I'm like, I'm like a small town Arizona kid. Why am I into these women? It was like a window into, I guess I might be gay kind of sensibility. But Kathy Bates is in that movie. Yes. And she plays either Stella May or Edna Louise. I think she's Stella May. But my favorite line is like, she's rich and she's talking about her life and stuff like that. And I think Sandy Dennis or one of them goes, but you're not happy. And she goes, I'm happy, God damn it. And that's my favorite. I always think of I'm happy, God damn it. And her line reading, amazing. Yes. She's a dream. I mean, I had one chunky monologue that was like a nonsense barrage of crazy shit that Stuart had to say. And she was like there kind of like listening to me go on. And, you know, at the end of my couple of takes or whatever, she was very complimentary and sweet. And I truly had to just like sit there and be like, thank you so much for saying that. You are an icon, a legend, and I've been seeing you in Venezuela since I was 13, and 13 fried green tomatoes and blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, oh shit, you're crazy. I gotta go.
I gotta back off. Yeah. So
turn my ear up. Yeah.
You mentioned that you grew up in Venezuela, and I understand that your family left when the political situation got too intense. How old were you then?
I was 20 when we left Venezuela.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like in law school. I had done some theater, but I was like, because of whatever, you have to go to school and figure something out instead of, you can't just be acting. So I was 30 in law school, and my parents were of a generation in Venezuela of a program that paid for scholarships for kids to go abroad, study, and come back to Venezuela and like build industry or whatever. And so it was a specific kind of type of person that had gone abroad, studied, and, kind of came back with. So they were like kind of building the middle class that way in the country. And they worked for the oil industry that was like state owned.
Right.
And, Venezuela started turning. Chavez came into power, democratically elected for the first time.
Right.
And then they stole the election. I mean, it's just, so complicated to tell that long of a story short. But
sure.
When it got really, really real and it was time to leave, they had fired 14,000 people out of the oil industry, and those were my parents. And luckily, we're from since they had all worked with companies abroad and stuff, they were able to find jobs away, and we were lucky that we were one of the first wave of Venezuelans that were able to leave when things started to get real. They had the human rights stuff had always been a part of Venezuela. Like in a weekend, there was always, 300 dead people via firearms in Caracas, because that's just how it was. But when this came to power is when they were starting to disappear people that were opposition, or my mom could no longer vote because we had vote against them in the referendum for the new constitution, where he could be reelected indefinitely. So my parents were like, it's time to go. They have 13 people in the Supreme Court now, or their version of it, and they're all his friends. So we got to get the fuck out. There's no future. And luckily we went to Canada. The options were Texas or Canada or Saudi Arabia or something like that. And my mom was like, I cannot be walking behind you guys at a mall in Saudi Arabia. So let's get the fuck to, and Texas sounded like not so good. This is Bush era. So we moved to Canada, to Alberta, which is a smaller Texas in Canada. But we went there. My family went to Edmonton, and I went to Toronto for school, and then I stayed there. I went to York because I could use a fork. That's when I was like, I'm going to switch to something I would rather use more. And it's, I don't want to go to, because I was in law school in Venezuela. So, I started going to school for, communications and film. And I started watching more films, and, I had to learn how to read and write in English and all that stuff. But we were very lucky because we missed the worst out of, right now it's awful. Obviously there's intermittent electricity and disappeared political opposition for, now 2 decades now. People are being thrown in jail for this year. I think the numbers are insane. 2,500 people that were disappeared this year. It's sad because it feels 20 years later, it feels very the same here. In the U.S. with what
I was going to ask you, does this kind of echo what you were experiencing?
Much. So much. And it's sad because it is, when this was the first Trump, I remember, talking to my dad and just being like, what this is like crazy. And he's like, there's so many institutions and guardrails. Don't worry about it. Like this, also the scale is so different, right?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, this now Trump 2 feels very Venezuela-like in the same way that like Chavez all of a sudden was just like in his second, when he won re-election, controversially for the second time, he was like, now the Constitution, we're going to change it because people want me to be here for as long as I want. And he already had lined up the Supreme Court like he's done here. Yeah. And he already it was just like, oh, fuck. Okay. And he just took it.
They've been planning it and all the pieces fell into place. Like it's horrible.
Yep. Very much like here.
What was it like to move to Canada at 20? Were you sad about it? Afraid? Like, how did that feel?
Honestly, it's a little, it's hard because, growing up gay in Venezuela wasn't super easy. Artistically, it didn't feel like I was not going to be able to do much besides like theater, and I was like kind of doing that. And like, there was no aspiration. I had done, a little bit of casting for TV over there, but Venezuela was like, it's soap operas or you do, some weird sketch comedy where you're just going to be a hairdresser or a, just like the faggiest fag, like that's all that gays were on television. So, it's awful. It was crazy. Leopard print and glitter always. Sure. And now,
you're no stranger to leopard print. Yeah.
Literally, or like wearing pearls. But yeah, it wasn't easy. So going to Canada felt like, as sad as it was to leave behind friends and family and the culture and the food, the life, Venezuela, because of, how fragile life was there. It was also very like, live dangerously and quickly and have fun and like party. It's drinking, it's partying until the sun comes out. It was so much fun. Beaches and delicious food and warmth from, and Canada is not that. Yeah. So it felt very weird, but at the same time, it was the first time that I'm going to be alone. I can meet and be with, like, I had gay friends in Venezuela, but it wasn't like we could, be super out and whatever. Like this, it just felt like so freeing to be like, I'm alone in a different part of the world where no one knows me.
I can start all over. I can reinvent myself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was fun. I was in, film school, like watching water lilies and like learning about queer cinema and like reading. I don't know. It was a really, really fun. It felt like the world opened up. Yeah. And I managed to like, oh my God, I can breathe. And I don't know. There's also, there's something cool about being the different person or the person from a different place. Yeah. That in Venezuela, I was one more. And in every year in my school, there was at least one more Francisco, I rarely met someone with my name or anywhere else that I've been. Right. So I don't know. It was a very, it was cold and warm at the same time. Yeah. And Canada is like crazy cold in the winter. Yeah. That was nuts.
Not your vibe.
Prepared you for that.
Did you ever go to the Toronto Film Festival? Was that like a thing?
Yes. Yes. Many times.
With all the celebs would come in.
Everybody's there networking, the old school thing. You have to be at a party for someone to see you and discover you. And you're like elbowing your way to even try to be a cater waiter at a party so they can maybe, hopefully, Angelina Jolie, who's promoting a film, might look at you and give you a part. Like, that never happens, bitch. Like, what is happening? No. It was, and the one time a year that the city felt alive about the industry itself, right? Yeah. That's what's cool about living here, that it's like always alive. But yeah, TIFF is super, super fun. And, and there's there's really cool stuff there. They have the humor and the comedy there is really very different. And, you know, going to Second City to study, to learn how to do like sketches and to write. And like, it was a really fun, super different experience. You know, they have a very British, dry sense of humor there.
Yeah.
And so I discovered Britcoms and like, you know, loved
all of that stuff
so much. It was fun. Yeah.
When I was growing up, when I would think of Venezuela, here's what I would think of. Mm-hmm. They always had the most beautiful contestants at Miss Universe. Like it's like you would watch the parade and you're like, Miss Venezuela's got it again. Mm-hmm. And I bet you have insights about this. Oh my God.
Yes. Well, let me tell you, it was kind of a scam. And then the rest of Latin America caught up, and now Puerto Rico and Colombia and Mexico, we're all doing the same. It was like smart surgery and training. Like, you gotta train. So these girls were like in boot camps from the time they were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was also like, for many women, their entry into the industry in Venezuela. That's how they would like become soap opera stars, right, or, you know, become actresses.
It was a stepping stone. So it was a career move.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like being on Survivor and winning a reality show. Yeah. Like, it was, but
it was a chance to get in. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it was like a religion.
As a gay boy, were you like into it and proud of Miss Venezuela?
Absolutely.
Crushing
absolutely.
It? Yeah.
Yes. Love. And we would have Miss Universe watching parties.
Yeah.
I don't know why my family had to come out, but you know, but we would, love.
Yeah, because
it was about the gown and the thing and how amazing. And this one was better than the one before because of the traditions of the thing and all of the Venezuela has idiosyncrasies about like the color of the dress that she must wear for the final Q&A so that it makes sense with the history. I mean, it's nonsense.
It's a whole thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we have Miss Universe and oil. That's what Venezuela had, right?
Boom.
So, or has.
Yeah. I love it. I had a guest on from Puerto Rico. And they're really into pageants. I would not say as hardcore as Venezuela, but they've been slaying. I mean, they've been kind of slaying.
Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Mexico. Yeah. They've been over the past couple of, a decade now, I think, they've been winning a lot more because they all, and now all the girls kind of, it's, you know, we live in a little bit more of a global world, right? With social media and stuff. So like they all have the same, I follow 90% of them. The runway pageant coaches and the guys that train them for the Q&A.
Follow the best.
So fun. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think I would have loved to have been a runway coach for people.
Oh, I bet you would have killed it.
That would have been, a dream. And when I was a member of a voguing house in Toronto, my category was runway and high heels. And I would just like put on heels and just like, you know, runway competitions. It was it's crazy.
My friend Tommy and I used to watch pageants together, and we would say Miss Venezuela, and we'd be like, do they have a farm where they just grow them? And it turns out they do.
Yes, baby, they do. It was a full farm. These girls would train for years. It was crazy.
Here's a little idea. What if Stuart has a side hustle as a pageant coach? Come on. There's a case, but that's what he does on weekends for extra money. He's making like these kids march and walk and tip. Come on, that is gold.
I would love that. I mean, we need to just start a quick tweet storm
about the writers'
room and just like immediately start pitching more ideas for Stuart to do.
Yeah,
no, I love it. I love that. And in season 2, they've been. I mean, you never know what makes at the end the cut of the episode, right? For timing and purposes and stuff. But like, they've been writing some really funny stuff about Stuart too. Like, I might not be in the scene, but like, oh, he's not here. He's getting his eyebrows threaded for lunch. Like, just doing funny things that I'm like, they all got Stuart immediately. But yeah, I mean, I would love if Stuart showed up there in a pump one day, it would be over, babe.
It would tick all the boxes. So tell me about this voguing house that you were in, or this house. Yeah,
that was funny. It was 2 of my darling friends, Matt and Will. They, after a particularly awful breakup. I was just like, all of my friends were from that relationship, and I was just like, and then these two people came into focus in my life, and they started going to Vogue balls, like voguing balls in Toronto. And there's a strong Afro-Caribbean diasporic community there, and they were throwing their balls and stuff, and like somehow Will and Matt got into, like, they would get invited, and they started walking categories as a 007, which means you don't have a house. And then a house kind of adopted them.
Nice.
And then they brought me into a ball once, and they were like, "Bitch, put these shoes on and walk." And I did. And the category was Virgin Runway.
Yeah.
Which means like first time. And the commentator was like, "She don't walk like a virgin, but she doesn't." But it was like, again, Miss Venezuela.
Yeah, exactly. You know what?
Fully, just always been.
It's part of your DNA.
To be on high heels.
Yes,
absolutely.
So you put them on and you crushed it in that first time.
And and I went to New York to compete once.
Damn.
And I one of the judges didn't like what I was doing, but then an icon of the scene told that judge, "No, he's better. You have to let him back in." And then I ended up like processing the girls, which is like one by one competing with everybody in the category. And I sat everybody and it came in second.
You came in second.
But it was like, when you're walking a runway in pumps back and forth, there's nothing more powerful. Like, it's incredible.
You're in heaven. And
I love
an
it.
icon overruled a judge because you were that good. When you're doing that, you're wearing pumps. What are you wearing on top? Just whatever you wore in there?
Depends on because the balls have always themes.
Right.
So that one in Buffalo and like up New York was like, it was something scary because it was like around Halloween time. So it was like a black cape with some like body chains and leggings or something. It was like very just body out because you want to see the body move or something behind billowing, showing the movement of the body in front.
It's very important.
Those two people brought me in, and then we went to a bunch of balls and had a blast.
Yeah.
It was also super creative because their categories like bizarre, where they were like, category is monsters. So you would create, big puppets that come out of your body, like just fun, cool stuff. They started a house and they invited me to join, and we threw a bunch of balls, and, the National Post in Canada came and covered them, and the Toronto Star. And it was a little weird, and bittersweet sometimes because, we were, three white people or white presenting people.
Yeah.
Like these, black people were not being covered. Like their balls were not being covered.
Right.
Ours were. So like Will and Matt, my friends who started this house, were very about stepping out of the way.
Right.
Like just being like, these are the people that need to be talking about this here. Yeah. And we're throwing the balls, but like, they're the ones who judge. They're the ones who decide who wins. They're the ones who dictate what the categories are. They're like just like bringing the culture forward.
Yeah,
which is what that should be about. And then I moved to Canada. I moved to LA, and I believe that those classes are still they're still continuing and doing stuff. But yeah, it was a blast to do. Those were like hilarious moments.
When somebody says, "Here's the heels, put them on," did you know deep down inside you're like, "I'm going to crush this. I am born for this moment," or were you like, "I don't know, I'm scared"? No, you were secretly like, "I've got this."
No. My internal animal, most of my life has been like the shaky dog at the pound. Like, I don't know. It's like I'm not the most self-assured person.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's something that takes over when you're doing comedy, when you're walking down the runway, when you are in front of Kathy Bates saying lines. There is no space. No one wants to see the
shaky dog at the pound.
Just like, move on, babe.
Yeah.
It's not interesting. So I don't know. Something takes over and it goes away. Sometimes I black out.
Yeah. You don't remember what happened.
Sometimes it's fun. Yeah, I don't. I really, really don't.
But you lose yourself in it.
Like, I don't know.
That's exciting. Yeah. You lose yourself in the moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I met you, you had on, like, I want to talk about your fashion and your style because it's so uniquely you. And you know, I think you had on big boots or heels, but a skirt and then like top and maybe there was pearls. Like, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you describe it and how did it evolve?
Let's see. Right now, I would call it high-level faggotry. No, I
like the high-level part. I like those words together. High-level faggotry. I like it. There's a pejorative but also it's elevated. It's an elevated pejorative. Yes. I like it.
Yes, but it's still faggotry, baby.
But yeah, you can't get around that.
No, there are things, some days, my favorite thing to do is waking up and being like, what do I want to,
like you're a canvas today? You're a canvas and anything can go on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And some days it's like, I pick a color and today is just, black, white and red. And like, that's everything from the shoes to the accessories to the thing. Even the glasses, I have a bunch of different colors and stuff. So I really enjoy that. I just finished this book called No Dandy, No Fun, dressing well as the end of the world comes. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's like the history of dandyism.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the pandemic, something happened and all of a sudden my brain kind of just like went like, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dresses, skirts, furs, like, shawls, whatever you can, capes, like whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Culottes. Why not?
Yeah. Why the fuck not? Yeah. It's not all hits. I will say that. There are some bad mistakes, I think.
Yeah.
But I have a blast. I like spending my energy in that. I know that for a lot of people, getting dressed and going shopping is they get anxiety and they do. I shot a pilot where I was like taking people to go shopping to do makeovers because they're like they don't. Sometimes people just need a buddy to go shopping. I enjoy it. I love clothes. I love putting something on and seeing what it does and how it falls and. I like it, or chop off the sleeves, or take it to the tailor and have it taken in. And there's no piece of cloth that I don't want to put on my body.
Yeah.
And try it on and see what happens.
Since it's relatively recently, this turn or this sort of passion for you, what have you observed about the way people react? What has it taught you about clothes and image and people and how they see things?
I find that people have two reactions. And it's because you might have not seen it before.
Right.
I think when you haven't seen something like that before, your reaction is either fear and rejection or enjoyment and wanting to like come in to see more.
Right.
I get random people on airports taking pictures of what I'm wearing and just trying for me not to see that they're like taking pictures. I get people pointing and laughing out loud. I was in Greece where they invented fucking togas and people were like, ha, 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 like fully pointing and laughing. I was like, or like the crowds were parting as I was walking through. I was just like, this is fucking nuts. But, chin up, babe, and keep walking.
But you have the courage to kind of do it. You're like, I feel like doing this. This is how I want to express myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid of what people are going to say.
Yeah. And some days are awful. Like some days, some days it hurts. There's less and less nowadays, for sure.
Right.
But back to your question, it came because, and I hate to be political, but like when the most powerful person in the world has been bragging about sexually assaulting people, I have nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing that I'm doing is wrong. Nothing that is coming out of me is like offensive or lascivious. Or I'm not like,
or in bad taste, or we just don't do that here.
My legs, my skirts might be a little too short. Sure. But, you know, have you seen the legs? They can be covered, babe.
Yeah, no, come on, Venezuela.
Absolutely. So that was the part of me that I was just like, oh, go have fun. Yeah. Put on the garment, like go out in the dress. And those who get it. And like I said, those people who lean in and like, oh, where'd you get that? I go if you ask my husband, like wherever I go, there's someone that's going to be like, where did you get this? This is amazing. Or, oh my God, you look great. And that's most of the experience. Now, before that, I feel like there was a lot more like, about. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But in the times
some congratulations too.
Yeah. But in
thinking that I'm like, congratulations to your bravery. I'm like, I'm not transitioning. It's just a skirt, babe.
Yeah. Like, cause when I have seen you out, it's unique. It's not like, clearly it's not really drag. It's like, it's your own thing. And it's kind of like, but the shoes, but then this. And then when I look at your Instagram and stuff like that, when you started, embracing this, how did your husband react? Was he like, go for it?
He very, very, he's never been a very like, you have to be a man for me to be like, no. And I'm grateful for that. You know, I think that the reason that why we're successful in a relationship in this relationship is because we are both excited for the other person to keep growing, right? To keep finding things, to keep, you know, discovering and trying new foods. And like, we're both curious. Right. And you know, there was a one or two talks about like, because it was around the time of like, we were talking a lot more about people transitioning.
Yeah. Like, what's this about? Like, what's it about?
Yeah. For you? And even with my therapist, he was like, but this, and I'm like, it just feels, I love wearing a skirt or a dress. And it isn't, I know I'm not trans because I don't feel gender dysphoria, or I haven't felt it.
Right.
It's not what I've been, my experience has not been that. My sadness or whatever comes from other things. This just feels good. And there's something about like filling into the space, like into my own body, that I've never felt more comfortable with myself. I love what I put on. Yeah. I leave the house because I feel like I want people to see this. Yeah. And he saw that. He saw that like that self-assuredness and that like confidence in myself growing. And he was like, oh my God, it's hot, it's sexy. Also, you look great. Like, keep going. And it's funny. I mean, whenever we go to everywhere, there's someone who's gonna comment. We know we have to leave time for people's comments wherever we go anywhere. Yeah. Because it happens.
Where do you get your stuff? Where do you love to look for things?
Vintage shops mostly. Yeah. There's a strip of stores on Magnolia Boulevard in Burbank. Yeah. That are secondhand shops that I live by. Every person that has needed help with an outfit, which now over the past 5 years has been like truly 10, 15 people that I've gone shopping with. Yeah. I take people to those 6, 7 stores and we always find something. Yeah. I think it's always a matter of also having a great person that you can take stuff to get altered. Yes. Because, you know, yes, get that $30 dress at the secondhand shop, but also go get it taken in and put the seams so it falls, you know, better in your body. So like, it's not just, you know, but it's secondhand shop mostly with a little alterations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it have anything to do with your acting career? Does it affect it at all? Or are people like, hey, look, you're going to the red carpet, you know? I mean, I'm not anywhere near that level. Yeah. I've had many most of my acting career and classes and stuff, and I've done a lot of commercial work here in LA in Spanish, and for the most part, the 2 or 3 commercials I do a year in Spanish are like, I'm straight and I play a dad, or I have a girlfriend, or whatever. For those moments, I have to, dress like what I'm trying to bring, because I can. But listen, the last Spanish commercial I booked, I walked in, I had spilled a drink on my pants, my audition pants. I have one pair of audition pants.
I love that you have one pair of audition pants.
Yeah, one. It's just fully straight like khaki that I can throw another nonsense on top. Yeah. And I spilled something on it. I was like, fuck it. I have this. I'm going to wear this skirt, this kilt that I was wearing that day. Yeah. And I booked it. This, big hardware store. And I walked in with a skirt, and they were like, we like this. So it kind of like shifted my attention to that. It's like, really, it's about, also you're also only seeing from here to here, right? Yeah. So from, chest up. Yeah. So no one's really looking that down, but I acting I have always been like very like kind of aware of what you have to present. Yeah. Cause it's, visual. And lately I'm caring a lot less, and I am seeing a lot more success.
That's interesting.
I show up to set wearing whatever I want and have a dream. Also, costumes is kind of like my favorite part of the gig too, because it's like building, the character.
Creating a character.
But mm-hmm.
You and Kasey, your husband, are both actors. Do you help with self-tapes with the other? Because self-tapes are a whole thing.
So much. I know. We're great. Listen, but
you have it down. Again, you have a system.
We have a studio here at the house.
Nice.
I painted a piece of a wall, a color, and I put a big frame around it so it looks like a big piece of art. Yes. And we have the lights already set, and we have, a tripod. And by the way, I finished that project like super our office space right before the pandemic, and the pandemic hit. And then we used that every fucking week. It was like crazy. No, and we love it. We have it down to a science, and it's hard. You use acting and you use parts of you, so it's weird to be like, seeing your husband use certain line readings.
Yeah, boy, that sounded really angry.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I felt that sounds very pointed. Mm. Or like, it's hard to be like giving feedback. Like, see, when you say that, you sound angry at me, but you need to be like, you have to get, but it's been so long. No, it's been great. And, besides like 1 or 2 times really, really early in our dating life, we rarely have gone out for like the same thing. Yeah. And we love, I'm a geek about it. I love breaking down the eye line, the thing, where to look, all of that stuff, where the light needs to be. He's a little bit more about like the lines and the process. I love that, playing with restrictions that are really, really harsh. Yeah. And I enjoy the process. He doesn't as much.
Right. But you guys compensate. You guys complement each other, what you do.
Yes, absolutely.
What'd you wear when you got married?
Oh, I wore my wedding dress was, when we went he was doing a play that took him to Hong Kong. So then I met him in Hong Kong, and then we went to Vietnam for a week. Yeah. So there we had our wedding suits made. Yes. So they were like made for our bodies. And so that to get married, we eloped to the Santa Barbara courthouse. Nice. 10/10/2020. Lovely. It was like him and I and the person officiating and the photographer, no one else. And so we wear those suits. And then for the dinner, which was again him and I wore this shirt from Morocco that is just this long, big striped shirt. I think it's like my Instagram
your profile picture
avatar.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, fun. Really, really fun, big, long, flowy shirt that goes all the way to the floor.
So you're in Canada.
Moves.
It moves. You got to have movement.
Yes.
Do you spin? You like to spin. You got to spin.
Oh, honey. Yes. She's ready to spin at every time.
What inspired the move to LA? Was it spontaneous, or was it like, had you been thinking about it for a while?
Well, I've been always growing up in Venezuela, reading People magazine and Vanity Fair and stuff like this. Hollywood was this thing that I just wanted to get to. You imagine yourself with your toothbrush giving acceptance speeches. But yeah, and then Toronto is what went there, and I was there. I was in acting classes. I was a member of the union. I was booking small little gigs here and there. Just not a lot of like forward movement. And that terrible breakup happened. I had a few years of like a lot of fun, and then something was just like, what? Like, if you're here trying to get stuff so that you can go down there, just go down there. Also, I had the American passport anyway, so like, why am I like, what was the, I don't know.
What am I waiting for? Yeah.
I don't know. Something happened. I quit my corporate job. I was just like, hey, thank you. I'm leaving in March. I told him in like November.
Okay.
And she was like, oh my God. Okay. Let's prepare for the next 4 months, but like, I'm leaving. And then I was like, and I picked up, I just had to be like, all of a sudden, like random date, pick it and go. I rented the condo that I owned over there. I found an Airbnb here for 2 months. I moved to, again, I knew nobody. I texted Darren because I had his Darren Stein's phone number. I was like, hey, I'm moving to LA. Great. Let me know when you land, girl. We'll talk then. I was like, oh, okay. And I found an Airbnb in Mid-City and I just fully with like, I think I had like maybe $10,000 cash saved from my job and nothing else. You have 3 months to figure out a job, a place to live,
a life,
anything, nothing. Yes, exactly. 10 years later, I'm like, or 11, 12 years later, I'm like, this was the best, thing ever. I'm married. I'm happy. I have a lovely home and a dog and dreams are coming true. It's great.
It's great. When did you know you're going to be okay in LA? At that first time you moved there, when were you like, okay, this is going to be okay?
I think after the first year and a half, maybe. I signed with a commercial agent. I had booked 2 commercials in Spanish. Yeah. It was like my first year here. I landed this job at a store in the back with the samples interning. Yeah. The interior design store. And I was dating a little bit. Yeah. I had just met Kasey, and I was just like, oh, bitch, yeah, it'll be fine. We can figure this out.
It's falling into place.
I was driving a scooter, which was insane.
I love you on a scooter.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so much fun.
The scarves alone, imagining.
Honey, just billowing behind the sunset, just skin shining, glistening. It was great.
Iconic. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Totally. I did see someone, I think, die on Fairfax right in front of me. And I was like, oh, I have to get rid of this. I have to get rid of this
scooter. Okay, that's the end of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We don't mean to laugh,
but
the way you put
that. Side saddle, it was like so exciting.
Yeah, it was so good. What do you miss about Venezuela? What's that thing where you like think about it and you have a little pang of like,
Food. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, family and, the traditions and stuff, but like there's something distinct about those flavors. Yeah. You have your replacements here. Like listen, I couldn't live anymore without the taco truck that's here 2 blocks away from us. But the taco truck from over there growing up, but that was like outside of my high school where we would eat cachapas and it was like, this corn thing, delicious. Or like once a year, although my family does it here in Canada too, but like getting together with everyone in the family making hallacas or, there's something about the foods and the drinks and Venezuela was very, I don't know, hedonistic is not the right word, but it felt very like, everything was so fresh and so delicious and the sea is right there. So every fish is just like freshly caught and yummy. And, you would go vacation by the beach and just eat the most delicious seafood incredible. That part is like the food, I think, the most.
Interesting. All right. I have one more question for you, but I want people to know where they can find you for your decorating. They should all watch for you on Matlock.
I'm on, the easiest is Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram at Francisco Francisco CHU. And I mean, it's the same on Facebook and TikTok and, you know, and all the platforms. I just don't do a lot.
Yeah, that's okay.
I promise I will someday.
That's okay. But like, if they're into, you know, they like some design ideas or maybe reach out to you.
Absolutely. Happy
do you do it out of your house or do you have
I'm about to sort of like,
do you have an office that you go to?
I do.
Oh, that's good.
I have a, yes. And I'm working on, other stuff in interior design too, but yeah, I think I'm starting a project soon, a house from the ground up in Palm Springs with an actor friend who inherited this house from their family. So,
oh my God, that sounds like a reality show waiting to happen. I mean, the outfits alone.
That's why I'm not talking about it.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I'll let it go. All right.
So God.
You're a delight to talk to. What an interesting journey you've had. And I've always enjoyed when I've met you out and about. Here's my final question. You're talking about kid growing up, doing the creative things. What would that kid in Venezuela make of your life now? It would probably blow his mind to be like in this other country doing these kind of fabulous things, but also it kind of makes sense, right?
I honestly don't know. These past couple of years, and specifically since like Matlock started, to be able to show up fully limp-wristed on television, and be that, there's something that like this kid inside has received the biggest hug. You know, I reach a big milestone age and I am married to an incredibly sexy, super talented, smart, sweet man who worships me, and likewise, and to be living, going to a lot to shoot a really big show on a network, with bona fide stars, and it truly feels like I won the lottery every day, and besides everything, all the nonsense that's happening in health and whatever, we are the lucky ones. We are the lucky ones. And I think that kid would say something like, I don't know how I got there, but I knew it.
Right.
I that's what I wanted, and I'm so happy that I'm there.
Yeah, I love it. I love what you had to say about showing up on television, limp-wristed. There's an integrity to it that hasn't always been there.
Yes.
In these kinds of depictions and all of that stuff. So, I love this conversation. Thank you so much, Francisco.
Thank you.
People should watch for all your stuff. I
absolutely.
loved it.
And by the way, people should come watch your stuff too. When I moved to LA, I mean, the community is what kept me alive, always, and inspired. Like, I remember going to, oh my God.
The mismatch game? Did you come to the mismatch game?
The mismatch game. Yeah, yes. Absolutely. And watching Chico's Angels and Coco Peru and like all these incredible comedians there. Tommy Lenk and Drew Drogi, and just icons on icons, people who have been doing actually the work and showing up on TV as gay characters, tiny on the side, but those are the people that we've been able to see ourselves with. Anyways, I've been to the mismatch game a decade ago, babe. So thank you too.
Thanks again to Francisco Chacin. You can watch him on Matlock and also check out his Instagram. It's Francisco Chu, C-H-U at the end of Francisco. And you can see his acting stuff on there, the design stuff, and outfits. There are killer outfits, the outfits that we talked about on this podcast. So check him out on Instagram. All right, so this happened. I don't want to take credit where it isn't due, but I do think it is due. Jonathan Bailey was named Sexiest Man Alive in People magazine this week, and I know it's a frivolous thing, but it was like, oh, fuck yes. An openly gay guy is on People magazine's Sexiest Man, and he deserves it. And right after it was announced, I went to the bathroom and I had my dream board over the toilet, and I happened to have a very sexy picture of Jonathan Bailey on there. You guys, I think I caused it. I think I manifested it for all of us and for Johnny B. And here's what I like about it, apart from the representation thing and of all of it. But he seems like a horny, like he seems sexy. Like he seems like a little naughty, like he's into it. Like when he was with Matt Bomer in that miniseries, Fellow Travelers, he seemed a little more DTF. I was like, I didn't know him very well at that point as a consumer, but I was like, this guy is serving it with the glasses and all of it. So very happy to see Johnny Bailey as the sexiest man alive, in addition to a lot of good news around the election. So the other thing I wanted to share that happened is I danced in a Walmart commercial a couple of months ago, maybe September I shot it. And I was waiting for it to come out because, you can't really talk about it until it comes out, but it is out. But I think it's only online, and I had a hard time finding it. But my agent was able to track it down, and I'm going to post it soon. It's there's a really sassy older Asian American woman. She starts the commercial as like announcing that she's the crochet queen, but then at night she's a boot scooting baddie. Cut to her in a country western bar, about to join a line dancing, thing. And I'm one of the line dancing people, and it goes by very quickly, but you can see my face. And so that's good because that means you get the extra money, the buyout, apart from just the shooting fee. And I wore my glasses in it because I haven't been able to wear my contacts because I'm getting cataract surgery. I pop up for like a second at the end, but you do see my face. And that's what counts. And I was happy to be there doing it. And so and then I got my eye surgery scheduled, which I'm trying to get done by the end of the year because who knows what my health insurance will be like next year. Anyway, that's the stuff that's happening. Talk about dancing through life. See how it all tied together with Johnny Bailey? All right, that's enough for this week. Thank you for listening so much. If you want, go pre-order Search Party. It would help me a lot. It's youdonttknowmylife.com/search party. And I want to give a shout out to Oscar Rosario for mixing the episodes. My theme music is by Mark Daniels for Replacement Music. Catch you next time on Dennis Anyone. Bye.